day 5 of our SD-WAN Cisco SD-WAN batch. So today we will be configuring our lab from scratch. So this is our lab that we are going to configure from scratch. So in today's lecture, what we are going to cover. So configuring the Linux system first. So this is our Linux system. We'll be configuring this Linux system first. After we are done with this, proceed with the configuration of the internet router, MPLS router, the PE router, and the site routers. Once this configuration is completed, we will start the configurations of the controllers, vManage, vBond, and the vSmart. Once that is completed, we will configure the hub router and the branch routers. After which we will also need to provide internet connectivity. So for this lab, for this instance, we will have to do some configuration, after which we will also be able to reach the internet. So these devices, all of these devices, the controllers, the Linux systems, will be able to reach the internet from this internet router. So there is certain configuration that is required to be done. So we will be doing that configuration as well in our today's session. So we will configure internet and MPLS and PE router. We will then do the configuration of configure internet access for the Eve NG. Then we will configure site routers. Then we will configure the vManage, vBond, and the vSmart and the edge routers. So this is our scope for today's session. So let's begin with the configuration. I have already turned on all the devices in the lab. So let's begin the configuration. So as soon as I click on the Linux, I will get this prompt. I will click on the keep and then I will open it. So as soon as we try to open this Linux system, it will ask for username and password. So the username and password for the username for this instance is Eve. Eve, and the password is also same, Eve. So the username and password for this Linux system is Eve. This is the Linux system. Let me go ahead and open the terminal prompt. So the end goal with this Linux machine is to configure the IP address in this range 10.1.1.1.x range, so that we will be able to access the vManager from this Linux system. So this is the end goal. So let me see what is the current IP address as of now. We will be configuring it on ENS3. So as of now, there is no configuration present. So we'll go ahead and do the configuration. I will click on the arrow, which is on the top right. Then I will click on ENS3. Then I will go to wired settings. Now I have to manually configure the IP address on this ENS3. So I will click on the settings icon, IPv4 manual. Now I will give the IP address as 10.110.1.11. I will give it as 100 because 11 is being used by the vbond. Net mask will be 255.255.255.0, which is /24. And the gateway will be 10.110.1.1. And the DNS will be 8.8.8.8. Okay, this is the configuration that is required, and we will be configuring this IP address 10.110.1.1 on our PE router, and PE router will act as a gateway for all these controllers in the Linux machine to reach to the branches or to the internet. So once we are done with this, we will save the configuration. We'll ask for the password. We will give the password as EVE and click on authenticate. Now I see in this section, I see that ENS3 is connected. Also, I can see that it has taken the IP address that we have configured 10.110.100/24. Ten one one zero one dot 100. Okay, so this is all we need to do in this Linux machine. So next we will proceed with the configuration of this internet router, MPLS router, and the PE router. Let me turn on this. So we will create a configuration on the notepad and then we will paste it. Okay. So on the internet end, we see that it is connecting to multiple branches, to the Dubai branch as well, to London branch as well, to the HO, the hub site as well, and to the cloud as well. So what we will be doing is we will be configuring this end. We will have all the IP address ending with .254, and on the other end we will have .1 .1 .1. Okay. So for example, my interface FA0/1 from the internet router is connecting to DR London. So on the internet end, I will be configuring the IP address as 10 10.70.1.254, and the other end, in the BR London end, I will be configuring it as 10.70.1.1. Similarly, on this end, I will configure it as 1061.1, and on the interface, on this interface, I will configure it as 1061.254. Same with the MPLS as well. On GE0/0, I will configure 60.1.1.1, and on this interface, I will configure at 60.1.1.254. Over here, I will configure it as 70.1.1.254, and so on. So let's begin with the configuration. So first, I will do it. I will create a configuration on the notepad. Conf. I will give the host name as internet interface fast ethernet 0/0. My 0/0 is connecting towards Delhi. Okay, and it will have IP address as 10.100.1.254. Interface fast ethernet 0/0, no shut, IP address 10.100.1.254, subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Exit.
Hey Ayan,
Hi, Muskan.
एक्चुअली आपके बैकग्राउंड से ना नॉइस बहुत ज़्यादा आ रही है लाइक कुछ हवा चलने की या फिर क्या नॉइस है आई डोंट नो लेकिन वो बहुत ज़्यादा आ रही है जो आपकी आवाज़ को कवर कर रही है.
Okay, allow me one moment.
ओके.
मुस्कान, अब ठीक है?
नाउ ओके.
Okay. So first Ethernet 0/0 configuration is ready. We will proceed with fast Ethernet 0/1. My fast Ethernet 0/1 is connecting towards BR Dubai. 0/1, and the IP address will be 10.60.1.254 with subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Going ahead, we will configure fast Ethernet 1/0. Okay, I guess my notepad is hung. No worries. Okay. Interface fast Ethernet 1/0, IP address 10.70.1.254, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, no shut. Exit. Next, we will configure interface fast Ethernet 1/1. Interface fast Ethernet 1/1, IP address 10.111.1.254, no shut, exit. Fast Ethernet 1/2 is connecting towards the internet cloud. So we will give here the IP address as Interface fast Ethernet 1/2. We'll give the description as well for towards GCP. And the IP address for this, and the IP address for this will be 192.168.1.16, 255.255.255.0. And on the other end, on this internet cloud, we will configure as .1. So we have did the configuration for 0/0, 0/1, 1/0, 1/1, 1/2, and we are left with 1/3, which is connecting towards our hub router. So at my hub router, I will give the IP address as 10.50.1.254. 10.1.1.254. The IP addressing part is completed. So we will want our all the we'll want the we will also create a default route towards this internet cloud, and on this internet cloud we will be having IP address as 192.168.1.1. Apart from that, we have this range 10.1101.0/24, wherein we have all our controllers. So we want this traffic to get the next hop of 10.111.1.1. So we will create a static route as well as the default route. So let's create the default route first. IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0 with next hop 192.168.1.1. And for our controller, IP route 10.110.1.0 with subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and the next hop will be 10.111.1.1. And this 111 we will be configuring it on the PE router. Apart from this, we also want we will be doing net, because all these interface should be reachable on the internet. So this will all this interface FA 0/0, 0/1, 1/0, 1/1, and 1/3 will we will configure as IPNet inside on these interface, and then on FA 1/2 we will configure it as net outside. So let's do that. Interface range FA 0/0 to 0/1, and apart from that 1/0 FA 1/0 FA 1 slash okay 1/0 and 1/1, FN1 and FA 1/3. IP net inside exit interface FA 1/2, IP net outside exit. Apart from that, we will also create an access list 10 permit any IP net inside source list 10 interface FA 1/2 overload. So this is nothing but we are telling all these interfaces to get the IP address of the FA 1/2 to exit and to get into the internet. So IPNet inside source list 10 interface FA1/2 overload. Okay. Apart from this, we will also create a username admin with privilege 15 and password as admin. Line VTY 0 to 14, login local transport input all. So this is the configuration that is required to be done on the internet router. So let's go ahead and paste this configuration. Close this windows. Enable. Show IP interface brief. Okay, so we can see that the IP addresses has been configured now. Let's verify if we have any other configuration. Show run pipe include IP route. Okay, so let me wipe this out first. When we export the configuration is already present. So I've removed the configuration now. We will verify it and then we will proceed with the configuration. Same we will do with PE router. Okay. So config none. All right. Looks like we have Show IP interface brief. Okay, so there is no configuration. So we have removed the configuration. Let's begin with the configuration now. Okay, host name. All right. We will do the interface configuration. Show IP interface brief. We have the configuration on 0/0 and 0/1. Okay. No switch port. Show IP interface brief. All right. So we have the configuration IP address configured on the interfaces. Let's see if we have any routing configured. IP route. So no routing, no IP routes have been configured. Let's go ahead and do that. Conft do show run pipe include IP route. Okay. Now we have the configurations. Interface range. Fast Ethernet 0/0-1. Okay. Okay. Let's do it one by one. IP net inside. Interface range fast Ethernet 1/0 till 1. IP net inside. Interface fast Ethernet /3. IP net inside. Let's verify it. Show run interface fast Ethernet 0/0. We have the IPNet inside command. On 1 as well, we have it. 1/0. We have it here as well. 1/1. Okay, we have it on 1/1 and 1/3 as well. We should not have it on 1/2. Okay, so this is the configuration that was required. Okay, fast Ethernet 1/2. We need to do IPNet outside. And then let's Right. So if we do show run, we should be able to see the configurations that we have did. The IP address configurations, IP routes, netting, access lists. Okay. So this is all that we wanted to do from the internet router perspective. Let's proceed with MPLS router configuration. So host name MPLS, fast Ethernet 0/0 will have 100.1.1, 100.1.1/254. Fast Ethernet 0/1 will be 60.1.1. 60.1.1/254. Fast Ethernet 1/0 will be 70.1.1/254. Okay. Fast Ethernet 1/1 will be 1101.1. 1.1/24. Okay. 1/2 is not connected anywhere, so we will remove it. Fast Ethernet 1/3 is connecting to hub 50.1.1.1/254. Okay. And in this case, we have OSPF between MPLS and the other routers. So we will do the OSPF configuration instead of this IP route. And this netting is also not needed. So we will remove the netting configuration and this IP route as well. Okay, so for OSPF, we will do router OSPF 10 network 0.0.0.0 0.0.0.0. Okay, it will be wildcard mask 255.255.255.0, and we will put this entire network in area 0. Exit. Let's verify the configuration. We will give the host name, do the interface configurations. After the interface configuration is done, we will do the OSPF configuration and then username and line VTY 0. Okay. Let's see if we have any configuration. Looks like okay, look like the configuration is already present. Let's wipe it out. Show IP interface brief. All right, so we do not have any configurations. Let's do the configuration. One slash one router OSPF 100. Show IP. We have the IP address configuration present now. Show run pipe section OSPF. Let's verify the OSPF configuration. Okay, we have OSPF configuration as well. Show run pipe include username. Okay, we have user created as well. Okay, and line VTY has local login and all as their transport input. Let's save it. Okay, so we are done with the MPLS configuration as well. Let's proceed with PE router configuration. So we have configuration here as well. Let's wipe it out. Okay, so let's create the configuration for PE router. Conf t hostname PE router fast Ethernet 0/0 for PE router is not in use, so we will remove it. We have 0/1, which is connecting to the controllers. So this will have the IP address as 10.110.1.1, 10.110.1.1. We have our interface fast Ethernet 1/0 connecting towards MPLS. So we will have the IP addresses 110.1.1, 1/0, 110.1.1.1. 1/1 is connecting towards internet. So 10.111.1.1 with /24. We do not have fast Ethernet 1/3, so we will remove it. and we will create a default route towards this internet router. Also, we will create OSPF configuration between this router and this MPLS. So let's do it. IP route 0.0.0.0.0 with next hop 10.111.254. 10.111.1.254 is configured on fast Ethernet 1/1 of our internet router. Okay. Apart from that, I want OSPF configurations for this entire network so that these routers can reach via OSPF till the controllers and with the static route from here to here. So let's do the OSPF configuration as well. Router OSPF. We will be keeping it in area 0 itself. Network 110.1.1.0 with subnet mask /25, and we will have our wildcard mask over here. Similarly, for 10 dot network, 10.110.1.0 with /24 and area 0, and the rest of the configuration username and line VTY will be same. So let's do this configuration as well. Enable show run pipe include IP route. Show run pipe section OSPF. You can see the OSPF adjacency is forming here. Let's verify if we have the configurations. Okay. OSPF configuration. All right. Let's create the local username and line VTY configuration. Save. Show run pipe include username. Okay, show run pipe section OSPF. Okay, we have OSPF configuration as well. All right, so the configuration for PE router is also completed. Next, we will begin with the site router configuration. This internet access, we will take it in the end of the session. So let's do the configuration for site Dubai 1 and site Dubai 2. We'll have to wipe it first. Wipe this as well. Start. Okay. So in this case, we will configure .100. 172.16.60.100 will be configured on this interface, and on this interface we will configure it as 172.16.60.1. Similarly, on this interface we will configure 192.168.60.1, and on the other end we will configure it as .100 on this interface. Apart from this, we will configure these IP address on loopback interfaces. Similarly, this IP addresses we will all configure on loopback. So loopback 11, 12, and 13. We will configure these IP addresses. And apart from that, we will also be having OSPF configuration in this area and in this area as well. So we will do that configuration now. Okay, so save. So first you all have to change, go to edit and set the startup configuration as none, because if we keep as exported, so whatever configuration that was done while the file was extracted, it will take that configuration. So make sure before turning it on, set the startup configuration to none, save it, and then wipe it and then turn it on. Okay, so show IP interface brief. Okay, we do not have any configuration. Show run pipe section OSPF. Okay, we do not have OSPF configuration as well. We have no username created. So let's do the configuration. Host name will be site Dubai 01. I have my interface fast Ethernet 0/0 connecting towards the BR Dubai router, and I will have the IP address as 172.16.60.100. 172.16.60.100, and the interface is fast Ethernet 0/0. No shut. Okay, and I will have loopback configuration as loopback 11. I will remove this, remove this. And my loopback configuration will be having 172.16.60.1.100, loopback 12 will have 172.16.62.100, and loopback 13 will have 172.16.63.100. Apart from that, it will also have OSPF configuration. So router OSPF 10, and the network will be 0.0.0.0 area 0. Area 0. Apart from that, we will have username and line VTY configuration. That's it. Let's create the configuration for site Dubai 2 as well. Site Dubai 2. Fast Ethernet 0/0 is connected. Will have IP 192.168.60.100. 192.168.60.100. Similarly, loopback 11 will have 192.168.61.100. 61.100, 62.100, 63.100, and OSPF configuration will be as it is. Let's go ahead and do the configuration. I have my site Dubai router here. Okay, let's verify the configuration. Show IP interface brief. Looks like we have missed. Okay. So loopback 13 did not take place because we had the IP address configuration. Conf T. So earlier what we did is we called loopback 12 with this IP, and then here also loopback 12 was configured. So it took this IP. So now we should have the expected configuration. Do show IP interface brief. Okay, we have fast Ethernet 0 with this IP and then 3 loopback interfaces. See right, show run pipe section OSPF. We have OSPF configuration. Let's see if we have the user configured. Yes, show run pipe section line. Okay, login local, and we have the configuration. Save it. Let's proceed with site Dubai 2. Pipe start. Okay. Click on no. Enable. Let's see if we have any configurations. No, okay. So let's do site Dubai 2 configuration as well. Conf T. show. Okay, we have the IP address configured with 3 loopback interfaces. We have OSPF configured. We have username configured. Okay, we have login local. Yes. Save it, close it, and proceed with site London configuration. Click on no. Show IP interface brief. Let's create the configuration for London site 1. So for London site 1, we will have fast Ethernet 0/0 with IP address 172.16.70.100, and loopback 11 will have 172.16.71.100. Similarly, loopback 12 and 13 will have 72 and 73.100. Let's edit the configuration that we had for Dubai router. 70.100, 71.100, 72.100, 73.100, and the rest entire configuration will be the same. Similarly, for London site 2, 192.168.70.100, here we will have 71, 72, and here we will have 73. Let's go and paste it. Let's verify the configuration. Okay, we have IP address on fast Ethernet 0/0 and 3 loopbacks configured. We have OSPF configurations. Okay. We have local credentials, section line, login local, and transport input all. Let's save it and proceed with site London 2. Click on no. Copy the configuration for site London 2 and paste it. Show IP interface brief. Okay, we have 3 loopbacks and the IP address on fast Ethernet 0/0. show run pipe section OSPF. We have OSPF configurations. Show run pipe include username. We have username as well. Pipe section line. We have local login and transport input. Okay, right, and that's it. Now we will configure this router. So for that as well, edit, none, save, start. After starting, we will also wipe it. So in this case, we will have 192.168.50.100 configured on fast Ethernet 0/0. Apart from that, all of these interfaces will be configured as loopback interfaces. And apart from that, we will also configure a local user. No OSPF configuration, we are doing it as of now. While we do service chaining configuration, the service chaining use case, we will do the required configuration. As of now, only basic configuration we will be doing on this route. Okay. So let's create the configuration. 192.168.50.100 we will have on fast Ethernet 0/0. 192.168.50.100. This will be HO. Loopback 11 will be 172.16.52.100. 52.100. Loopback 12 will be 53.100 and 54.100. Apart from that, we will have three more loopback interfaces. Loopback 14 with 192.168.51.100. Loopback 15 will be 52.100 and loopback 16 will be 53.100. No OSPF configuration, and we will have username and line BTY configuration. 3.100, 52.100. Okay. And show IP interface brief. Show run pipe include username. Show run pipe section line. Okay. All right, let's verify the configuration. Show IP interface brief. We have IP address 50.100 on fast Ethernet 0/0. And apart from that, we have 6 loopback interfaces. Show run pipe include username, show run pipe section, line. Okay, we have login local and the remaining configuration. Let's save it. Close it. So as of now, we have configured PE router, MPLS router, internet router, site Dubai routers, and site London routers, and HO router. So let's begin with the configuration of these controllers. And then we will start with the site routers. All right. So the default credentials for vmanage is admin, and it will ask for a new password. So I will recommend to set that password as well as admin. And it will ask for available storage devices. Click on one. We will be selecting VDB 100 GB. Click on one, enter. Click on yes, enter. So this will take some time. Meanwhile, what we will do is we will create the configuration for this vmanage. Let's remove this. Conf T. Under system configuration, we will define the host name of this vmanage and we will keep it as vmanage itself. Apart from that, if you all recollect, there was certain minimum configuration that was required. So that minimum configuration, we will do it over here. So in that minimum configuration, we define the system IP. And in this case, we will keep it as 99.99.99.10. And for vbond, we will keep the system IP as 99.99.99.11, 12 for vsmart and 13 for vsmart 2. Apart from that, we will also need site ID. So we will configure the site ID as 10, organization name as sianets. Apart from this, that we will also set the clock as Asia/Kolkata. And the other important configuration is vbond IP. In our case, vbond IP is 10.110.1.11. So we will configure that 10.110.1.11 exit. So all these configuration we need to do under system tab. So once we have done this configuration, we will exit from the system tab and then we will enter into VPN 0, which is the transport VPN. Okay, in that transport VPN, we have our ETH0, which is connecting towards the internet and the WAN links. So under VPN 0, we will call interface ETH0 and give the IP address. And the IP address for VPN ETH0 will be 10.110.1.10. 10.110.1.10. IP address 10.110.1.10, and here we will give the subnet mask as /24. Apart from that, this interface will be used to form the tunnel. So we will say that this will be my tunnel interface, and we will also allow certain services on this interface. So we will allow service all. Apart from that, we will also allow service SSHD, netconf, HTTPS, and then finally we will do a no shutdown on this. Okay. So for these are the services with which vManage used to SSH to the other routers. So for example, if you all remember, I showed you all that we will be able to SSH into any of the branch routers from the vManage graphical user interface. So in our case, using this vManage graphical user interface, I will be able to SSH into branch routers. So if I have this service blocked, SSHD service, I will not be able to do that. Apart from that, vManage uses netconf protocol to send the configuration to the controllers and to the branch routers. So if we have this netconf not allowed, it will not be able to send the configuration. And finally, we are setting HTTPS services allow so that we can access this vManage via graphical user interface using this Linux machine. Okay. Apart from that, we will configure a static default route pointing towards the PE router. And we will give the DNS details as well. 8.8.8.8. And then finally, we will exit from the VPN 0 section. And then we will log into VPN 512 section, which is out of band, which is a management VPN. In our case, we have eth1 as the management interface. So we will do interface eth1, and we will keep this interface in DHCP mode. DHCP-client. Enter no shut, and finally we will do commit and quit. So this is the minimum configuration that is required. System IP, site ID, organization name, vbond IP, VPN 0 configuration, and VPN 512 configuration. Apart from this, we also need certificate on this device that we will be covering in our coming sessions. So probably tomorrow we will be looking into the certificate installation and all. So let's go ahead and do this configuration. We have our vManage over here. Okay. Admin, admin. Okay. So let's page the configuration. Conf t. We have did the system configuration, and then we have exited. If we see here, as soon as we type system, we enter into the config system mode, and we do this system configuration in system mode, and then we exit, and then we get into the VPN 0 configuration, and we do this. Okay. VPN 0 configuration we will do here. Interface with 0. Enter. In VPN 0, we have now entered to interface is 0 configuration. Let's do the IP address configuration and rest of the configuration. Then we exit. In VPN 0 configuration, we will do the IP route configuration and the DNS configuration, and then we will exit. So in interface configuration, we have did IP address and tunnel interface and the services configuration, and then we have exited from the interface configuration, and in the VPN 0 configuration, we have did the routing part. Now we will get into VPN 512 configuration. Interface it1, IP DHCP client, no shut, commit, and quit. So this is the configuration that was required. And if we do show running configuration, we will now be able to see that we have system IP, site ID, organization name configuration. We have also defined the vbond IP so that we manage know where is the vbond and how to reach to it. We can see the VPN 0 configuration as well, VPN 512 configuration as well. Show running configuration VPN 0. We can, with this command, we can see specific configuration. If we want to see only VPN 0 configuration, we can go ahead and do show running configuration VPN 0. Similarly, for VPN 512, show system status. Show system status will give you the system details and so on. These are the system configuration, wherein if you want to see the IP address, site ID, and other details, we can do show running config system. So this is all that was needed. And now if we try to access, let's see if we are able to ping the vmanage 1.10. We are now able to ping the vmanage from our Linux machine. Let's stop this ping and try to access the vmanage. Okay, we have got the vmanage GUI now. Let's enter the credentials, which is admin. Okay. So now we see that we have got the vmanage GUI configuration, vmanage graphical user interface. But we do not, we see that there is no vsmart, there is no vmanage router, there is no vbond, only one vmanage. Okay, and since we do not have any we have not did any configuration, we do not have any live devices, we will not get these statistics. Okay. So the vmanage configuration is also done. We will now proceed with the vsmart configuration. Let's get it started. Admin, admin. Okay. Now the minimum configuration will be same. So let's see what changes needs to be done. So as I said, the vsmart 1 will have system IP as 99. vsmart 1 will have system IP as 99.99.99.12. So let's make that changes. The site ID will remain same for all the controllers. The organization name will remain same for all the SD-WAN devices. Apart from that, the vbond IP will also remain same. Now we have vsmart connecting with its zero interface. Okay, and it will have IP address as 10.110.1.12. So this is the change that we need to do. Let's do it. Okay, so here we will change the IP address configuration as 10.110.1.12. Apart from that, tunnel interface will remain same, and these configuration will also remain same. Apart from that, this all configuration will also remain same because it is using the same gateway 10.1.1.1.11. It is using this 10.1.1.1. It is using the same gateway. So all these controllers are using same gateway. So this configuration will also remain same. And we will have VPN2 in DHCP mode, VPN 512 in DHCP mode, and that's it. So let's do this configuration as well. We have our vsmart over here. Let's see if we have. Okay. Admin. Okay. So similar to the vmanage, it will ask for the login credentials, which is admin. It will ask you to reset the password, keep it as admin. Let's see if we have any configuration here. Show running config system. Okay. So we see that there is no system IP, site ID, and other configurations present. Let's see the VPN0 configuration. We see there is no VPN0 configuration as well. Similarly, for VPN 512, there is no configuration. Let's go ahead and do the configuration. Conft exit. Show running config system. Okay, as soon as we did the system configuration, we see that the IP address is reflecting, the site ID is reflecting, organization name, vbond IP is reflecting. Okay, we missed changing the host name. Let's do this configuration again. Conft commit and quit. Show run config system. Okay. Let's see if we have VPN0 configuration. Okay, so there is no VPN 0 configuration as of now. Let's do it and then verify. Conf t shut exit. We will come out from the interface configuration. Under VPN 0 configuration, we will do the routing part. So this command is not taken by the vsmart because we will not have https, we will not have graphical user interface access to the vsmart, so this output is expected. Let's verify if we have it. Show running configuration VPN 0. Now we see that the VPN 0 configuration is present here. Let's do VPN 512 configuration and save the configuration. Conf t VPN 512 commit and quit. So we have completed vsmart 1 configuration as well. Let's do the configuration for vsmart 2. vsmart 2 will have system IP as 99.99.13. Organization name, vbond details will be same. The IP address will change, 10.1101.13, 10.1101.13. Okay. Apart from that, rest of the configuration will remain same. Let's take the access of vsmart 2. Admin, admin. It will ask to re-enter the password, reset the password, type admin, admin. Show running config system. New system configuration present. Show running config VPN 0. No VPN 0 config present. VPN 512. Nothing. Let's do the configuration for vsmart 2. Come out from the tunnel interface configuration. Come out from the H0 configuration. Once we are in VPN 0 configuration, we will do the IP route configuration. Let's get to VPN 512 and save. Okay, now we can see that the host name is changed, so our configuration is completed. Show running config system. We see the IP addresses, vbond IP. Similarly for VPN 0, we can see the configuration. VPN 512. Yes, we have the configuration. So in Viptela devices, unless and until you do commit and quit, your configuration will not be saved. So in our scenario, when we talk about the catalyst switches, as soon as we do the configuration changes, and even if we do not save that configuration, those configuration take effects. So that is not the case in these Viptela devices. Unless and until you save the configuration, it will not be a part of your running configuration. Done with the vsmart configuration. Let's do the vbond configuration now. Admin, admin. It will ask for the new password. Set it as admin and admin. Let's create the configuration for VBond. So the system IP for VBond will be 99.99.99.11. The site ID will be the same 10. Organization name will be same. The only difference between the VBond and the other controller configuration is in this VBond we will tell that local. We will have this local word present so that this device know that he itself is a VBond controller. Apart from that, we have GE0/0 being connected to the P towards the P router. So we will make that changes over here. Interface GE0/0, and the IP address for this will be 10.1101.11. We have IP address as 10.1101.11. Rest all the configuration will be same. Apart from that, for VPN 512, in this case for VBond we have H0. H0 is connecting towards the management route, so we will have that interface in VPN 512. Apart from that, rest of the configuration will be remain same. Let's change the host name to VBond and let's page this configuration. Show running configuration, nothing. Show run VPN 0, nothing. Show run VPN 512, nothing. Conf T, get into the system configuration and paste it. VPN 0 configuration. As soon as we type VPN 0, we get into VPN 0 mode. As soon as we type interface, we get into the interface mode. And as soon as we type tunnel interface, we get into the tunnel interface configuration. Under the tunnel interface, we will do this configuration. We will exit the IP address, exit under VPN 0, the routing configuration, VPN 512 config, commit and quit. We can see the name has been changed. Let's verify the configuration. Okay, VBond local. Show run VPN 0. We can see the IP addresses, interface. Show run VPN 512. Okay, DHCP. Alright, we have completed the configuration of these controllers. Let's begin the configuration for BR Dubai, London and HO routers. Admin. Again, it will ask for to reset the password and we'll do it. Show running config system, nothing present. Show running config VPN 0, nothing is present. Let's create the configuration. So the system IP for this BR Dubai will be 99.99.99.60 and the site ID will be 60. We will first change the hostname to BR Dubai, change the system IP to 99.99.99.60, site ID to 60, and we will remove this local. Apart from that, we have two interfaces that is connected in VPN 0, GE0/0 and GE0/1. So for minimum configuration, we can configure both the interfaces, or we can configure one interface. So as soon as we do the configuration on one interface, it will be reachable to the controller, and then rest of the configuration we can do via the templates. So in our case, we will be doing only one interface configuration, but in the working environment, we can do both the configuration. So we will do the configuration for GE0/1. No interface is GE0/0. Interface G0/1. We will give the IP address, and the IP address that we have on this interface is 1061.1. 10.60.1.1, and this interface will be the tunnel interface. Apart from that, we will also expect the IPsec tunnels on this interface, so we will do encapsulation IPsec. Apart from that, allow service all SSHD, and one more service that we will allow on this interface is ICMP service. ICMP. That's it. No shut to this interface, and then we will have the default route pointing towards 10.60.1.254. Okay, so let's do this configuration on BR Dubai. Exit under VPN 0 to the routing configuration. VPN 512 configuration. Commit and protect. Now we see that the hostname has changed. Show running configuration system. We see the changes has been taken effect. Show run config VPN 0. Okay, we have the configuration for VPN 0 as well. Let's try to ping 10.60.1.254. We can see that we are able to reach the internet router. Now let's see if we are able to reach the VBond. Okay, so now we see that we are also able to reach to the VBond. No control connections will be formed as of now, because we do not have any certificates and all configured on this. Neither we have uh, whitelisted this device on the vManage, so it will not form any control connection. So but we have the reachability, and if we have the reachability till our vManage, that means we have done the correct configuration for this BR Dubai router. So after doing the configuration, The first thing that you need to check is the reachability till the controllers. We have it till vmanage, and we will be having it till the vbond as well, and the vsmart as well. Once this configuration, once these controllers are reachable, that means our configuration is correct. Let's proceed with BR London router. If it asks to reset the password, reset it. No VPN 0 configuration is present. So let's go ahead and create the configuration for BR London. Change the host name to BR London. System IP to .70. Site ID will also be 70. Rest all the configuration will be same. Only the IP addresses will change, and the next hop IP will change. Let's proceed with pasting this configuration. Exit, exit. VN512 configuration, commit and quit. Commit complete. Hostname changed. Show run VPN 0. We have VPN 0 configuration present. Ping the next hop. Reachable. Ping vmanage. Reachable. Ping vbond. Reachable. vsmart is also reachable. All right. So the configuration is completed for BR London as well. Let's do this for HO India router. Admin, reset the password to admin. Change the hostname to HO-India. The system IP will change to 99.99.99.50. Site ID will change to .50. Apart from that, we have interface GE0/0 connecting towards the internet. So we will make that change over here. Interface GE0/0 and change the IP address to 10.50.1.2. Apart from that, tunnel interface IPsec, these configuration will remain as it is. 10. Change the next hop route, and that's it. Let's page this. Conf D. Exit, exit. VPN 512 config. Commit and quit. Let's see if we are able to reach the internet router. Okay, we are able to reach it. Let's see for manage. Okay, we are able to reach. Similarly for vbond. vsmart vsmart 2. Okay, so that means the configuration on this router is also correct. So we have completed the configuration on all the devices. The controllers, we have configured Linux, we have configured PE router, MPLS, Internet, BR Dubai, BR London, HO India, this router, and the site routers. So the entire configuration is completed. The only part that is remaining as for now is the internet reachability. We will configure this. Okay. So for that we will have to take the SSH access of our VM instance. We will copy the public IP. We will take the SSH access. Paste the IP address. Click on accept. The default credential is root and Eve. Okay. So we have got the access. Now for that we will now give the IP address as 192.168.1.1. So if we see here on this internet router, we have given the default route as 192.168.1.1. So this internet cloud has the reachability, and for this we will give the IP address as 192.168.1.1. So let's go ahead and do that. So the command for that is IP address add 192.168.1.1 on dev pnet1. So all this configuration is basically to make our devices on the lab to be able to reach till the internet. So this entire configuration is not a part of SD-WAN. It is just that we are making our lab reachable till internet. Okay. So let's paste this command in that SSH. So after issuing this command, we will enter, we will get this screen. We'll get this screen. So here we will have to click on I and then enter this command and then click on escape hyphen colon W. So let's do that. Click on, as soon as we have pasted this, click on escape colon WQ. So colon WQ stands for write and quit. So once that is done, let's get into the interface. So this is the interface configuration that we are doing. We are giving IP addresses 192.168.1.1. So let's do that. Now once we get this screen, click on I. We will see that it has changed. We are now into insert mode. Come to interface it1. Come to this interface it1, and we will have to paste this configuration. So copy this configuration one at a time and paste it. We already have the first line set, interface it1 inet manual. Okay. Second line is also set to auto pnet1. The third line is also interface pnet1 inet. Change this manual to static. This manual, let's change it to static. After that, we will delete this and paste these configurations. Address, once this is done, we will again click on escape, type :WQ, :WQ. Once that is done, click on enter, and that's it. Now we should be having the internet access from our internet router. Let's go here and check ping 8.8.8.8. See, we are now able to reach the Google DNS. Apart from that, we will also have internet access to all our devices now. If we open the terminal prompt and try to ping 8.8.8.8, we will have the internet access. Let's check it from our vManage as well. So after doing this configuration, if we have verified the internet reachability from the internet router, from the vManage and from Linux, then we are good to go. Our lab is set to, we have configured each and everything correctly. So in today's, our goal was to configure the Linux system, which we have did. Apart from that, we have also configured internet, MPLS and PE router. We have made our lab accessible to internet. We have configured site routers. Apart from that, we have also configured the controllers and BRDY routers. So this is it for today's lecture. We have also verified that the Linux machine is reachable from 8.8.8.8, and we are also able to reach the controllers from our branch routers. So this is it for today's lecture.